Hi, everybody. This is Roger from the Digital Currency Index, and today I have the CEO and founder of Ceek VR, Mary Spio. How are you this morning?
Wonderful. Hi, Roger. Good to see you.
Nice to see you. And I know I asked you this a minute ago. I'm out here on the East Coast, and I noticed it's very dark behind you, so you're obviously someplace where it's dark. Where are you located?
I am currently in Sacramento.
Okay, perfect. So I appreciate you getting on the call this early this morning. Of course, when our audience sees this, they won't know what time it is, but you can see the black background back there. I just wanted to thank you for getting up so early to work with us.
Oh, no problem.
Digital Currency Index is going to be investor in Ceek VR, and we want to recommend this to our audience because you guys have got some things that a lot of projects don't, which we're going to dive into, which is a legitimate business, real to-market products, and partnerships that would blow just about any investor away. So I'm going to ask you about all of that, but can you tell me first a little bit from a big picture perspective, like tell me what is Ceek VR?
Sure. Ceek VR, so we're developers of virtual reality content. And basically what we're doing is taking events and experiences in the real world and recreating it in a social VR environment. So we take any local event and turn it into a global event. And our goal is really extending the reach of concert goers so that for events that they cannot attend, they'll be able to experience it in VR as if they were actually there.
And when I saw that on your website, and I mean, I'll be honest, and I don't do this a lot, like I got a little bit of goosebumps there because I know going back a few years, you start seeing like the holograms coming online so that you can see like entertainers that just aren't with us anymore, people that I would have never had a chance to see. And when I saw that, like, we're big in the VR space, we're looking at a lot of different investment strategies there. But if you can sit me front row of a concert that is halfway across the world from an entertainer that I've always wanted to see, like that's something that even I would consume. And if I would consume it, I know a ton of people would. So I think that's awesome. In order for this project to work,
absolutely,
you guys have to be partnered with the event organizers. And I think what's really cool is you already are. You have some amazing partners. Can you tell me how those partnerships came about? And then I want to, and then maybe tell me about one or two of those partners to get people to understand the scale at which your project is working in.
Sure. So currently we're partnered with Universal Music, people like T-Mobile and Apple. And I'll go over Universal Music, how that came about. A few years ago, we were working with Xbox. So we were doing the entertainment.
Connection kind of froze on us. Let's give it a second to see if it comes back around, and I will edit this out. All right, you're back.
Okay. So we were doing a lot of work around. Oh, okay. Am I back?
You're back. You know what? I think there's a 3-second delay with this one too, so I apologize for that. You started to talk about Universal Music right before we kind of paused.
Oh, okay. So with Universal Music, a few years ago, we were working with Xbox, creating musical content for Xbox. You know, Guitar Hero was huge. And so a lot of those music relationships came about 10 years ago. And our current relationship with Universal is because we've created a platform that allows them to monetize not just concerts and new releases, but also even their existing catalog content. And that's why it really works for both parties. We're the only ones that have a VR headset that fits exactly in the CD slot, which is important because still, you know, just even as of last year, 50% of the revenues came from retail. So having a retail integrated solution was very, very important to them.
Yeah, and that's the next question I have, because this is really big, especially in our space where we don't see this a lot. You already have a product in market that sells at Target. Like, tell me about that. Tell me about that product, and like you guys are selling out everywhere that you put these things.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a VR bundle. You know, we realized early on that you know, for consumers, especially mainstream consumers of content, everyday users of content, unlike hardcore gamers that would be willing to buy a desktop device, everyday users of content want you to meet them where they already are. So we bundled our VR platform, a VR experience, with the VR headset, which is now available at Target, Amazon, and so on and so forth. And the reason they're in these places is because of the bundling of the content and the headset. And that has worked out really well, for us and also for our partners, but most importantly for consumers who can just go into any store. We had our initial headset at Best Buy. They could go in there and buy it. They could go into Target and buy it. So it's been very, very good, to bundle the content and the headset together. And it's a mobile headset. So you could use your existing Android or iOS. And then, we've done an integration with Apple. So we now give away $10 iTunes gift card, which is completely integrated. We did the integration with Apple resources. And so your points are added directly to your iTunes account.
And that's huge. And I know I don't even have to explain it to the people that are watching this video. Like, you just don't see people with deals that big in this space right now. I hope over the next couple of years we start to see more of those projects, but you're really a leader inside of the cryptocurrency world by having those types of established relationships. For those that are thinking about buying your product, do you have any scheduled big events or concerts for 2018 that they could look forward to?
We have, a big award show that's coming where we're working now on integrating the voting. And so you would be able to be watching this award show, and then your votes will actually count towards one of the winners. That's something that we're super excited about. The same award show last year, or the year, whenever they did the voting last, had 60 million votes. And so we're very excited about the opportunity to turn all those 60 million votes and more into token holders, being able to, if you can only use Ceek, tokens to vote for that event. So that's something that they haven't announced yet, but it's coming. And then we also have 2 concerts that we're working on, and these are going to be very, very high profile with Universal Music. So again, because of our partners, we have to be very sensitive to their schedule. They haven't announced those 2 yet because they have album releases that have not been announced yet. But those are all, events that we have that are, coming, that we're super, super excited about. The voting for the award show, the 2 huge concerts with Universal. And we're really excited because, for example, Guns N' Roses announced their tour last year, and the European tour, they sold out 1 million tickets in 24 hours. And so that's what we do so that when those tickets are completely sold out, people in smaller places where it doesn't really make financial sense, because producing a concert is super expensive, can also still engage with the artist. And then most importantly, they're able to extend the revenue to unlimited tickets.
I really like that. In fact, I never thought of it from that perspective. A concert sells out, then you introduce this offer on the back of all the people that were disappointed. It's like the over demand is where your consumption starts. I think that's brilliant. You mentioned in that last question about your token. So tell us about how people will be able to use their Ceek tokens and where that Ceek token derives its long-term value from, like a utility value.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So where we derive our long-term utility value from is the fact that these tokens will be used to purchase concerts, to do things such as voting. How we came to the blockchain is actually because today we have implemented a point system, a token system, if you will, but it's not, we want to make it more frictionless. And that's why we started looking at a universal virtual currency that will allow people to be able to very easily access content. Because in a virtual environment, you need a virtual currency, and we tried to implement it in so many different ways with different integration that really didn't work. And that's why the blockchain is just phenomenal for us. But they'll be able to use these tokens. So imagine if you had a concert, with an iconic artist that has like 60 million fans. Even if 6 million of those fans have to pay 100 Ceek tokens in order to consume that content, you see how it drives the value very quickly. And they're going to be using those tokens to purchase the tickets. They're going to be using those tokens for the voting. So you're going to have to where, as the demand for the token rises, the value creation is just, it becomes very, very inherent to what it is that we're doing. So unlike, you see a lot of tokens where it depends on speculation. But this actually depends on utility. It depends, the more people use it, the more the value rises, and the more demand it creates. So we're super excited. And that's why we have, we have our hard cap, and we're allowing a way to go, even higher than that, because the more quality content we can bring on, the more bigger artists we can bring on, the more value we create.
And that's all of this is music to my ears. So one thing for our audience, Digital Currency Index is investing in this project. We highly recommend you take a look, and here's why. They've got a product to market that's being sold through Target, Amazon, and other major retailers that's selling out everywhere it goes. They've got established partnerships with the biggest name in their industry. They're actually using blockchain the way that it was designed to be used. They're using it to simplify a real world problem and create transparency and exchange. Like, you just don't see that. And I think one of the most amazing things that you said, Mary, was that you have a utility value to your token, which even people like Charlie Lee are saying that this market needs to come back to reality, and it needs to surround itself with projects that actually have a utilization to the assets that they create. It's brilliant. Now, for everybody watching this video, don't forget, do your own research. Nothing that we said on this call is financial advice. I want to thank Mary for taking her time to talk with us today. The link to her website is below. You'll notice there's no affiliate links. We make no money by doing this, but we do highly recommend you take a look at this project. And then, Mary, if you can hold on for 1 second, I've got one more question for you, but then I'm going to end the recording, all right?
Okay.
All right.